Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, June 6th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So we continue to watch XRP's price action. The whales have had a little bit of movement today, so we'll take a look at that as we go through this live. We'll take a look at the XRP price action as we continue to maintain that 51.8 cent support level. And that's very important right now, as that's on the cup and handle support. So we're going to want to make sure that we maintain that area of support. If we come below the handle support, you've basically got an extended area down at 51.1 cents that if you were to lose, that would confirm a further drop down, and that's not anything most want. Dirty Dozens, welcome in. JW, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year. With the I told you so, the I told you so bad says, still praying for progress with Little Big Man. Yeah, he's doing great. I'll get to that in just a second, JW. As well, I'll say it right now. He had his GI appointment today to check on the G-tube, and everything was good. He had a good appointment. He's put on about 3 pounds in the last week. So he's his heaviest weight he's ever been. So it's already off to a really, really good start for him. So I appreciate that, JW, but it's looking really good right now. Dirty Dozen, welcome in. Rockin' XRP Painter, welcome in. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6 months with the XRP Predictor. Wales, Josie Wales, welcome in. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for 3 months with the XRP Meteor. I greatly appreciate that. And if you are watching right now, please make sure to hit that like button, as it's becoming harder and harder for me to get my content out. And the more of you that hit that like button, it allows me to push this out through the analytics, and YouTube finds it worthy of their time to recommend my content. Marvin, good evening. Bravo says GME is pumping. Yeah, they've done short squeezes a few times over the last several years where they'll pump up the price. Just got to be very careful if you get on it during the pump. If you're in it before the pumps, they can be very, very lucrative. John Hall, good evening. Hopefully you're having a blessed evening. I appreciate you tuning in as always. Marvin, glad he's doing well. Good to see you excited, brother. Blessings. Yes, indeed. I am excited. I'm excited. That is true, Marvin. I'm excited not just because, XRP is going to break out tomorrow, or because I see what the end game is here. And I see that 2024, before 25, is when you want to get yourself right. When you find the right price for you to buy XRP, I believe before 25, it's imperative now, especially with what looks to be looming with the ETF announcement, which you've already gotten the hint from not just the Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, but also the Ripple president. They're all, the CTO, they're all talking about why it makes perfect sense and why they expect by, if at, not by the end of the year, but in the next year, they expect the ETF. You want to front run all of that. You see what's going on with the Ripple versus SEC case right now. It's never looked more bullish for XRP in a sense of where we're at in the structure, where we're at in the timing of all this stuff. We've been waiting since 21 to get even close to any kind of resolution, and we're finally starting to push down that path right now, but it's not easy. It is certainly not easy. So we have to continue to be patient, but it's not just, I think it's a little bit more than patience. You have to stay committed into this time right now. A lot of people, and not just in this community, but a lot of people are giving up on the thought that XRP can actually do something in the future. The fact that it's been under $1 for so long is another thing that a lot of people are watching. And the fact that it hasn't had any monumental price movement or price action here in several months, or even several years if you want to be honest. Since 21, when we had the massive breakdown, yeah, we've had some movement, but at the bottom line here is we're still at 52 cents. So a lot are going to end up feeling that emotional backhand. It's going to become too much, and then they're going to move on to bigger and better things in their own opinion. And my whole thing is don't just move on without giving it a second thought right now. Right now is a good time to accumulate. It's a good time to end up securing a position, and even if it's a spot where you're just buying day after day after day, it's much easier to buy 2 for $1 than it is to buy a half for $1, or if it is to buy 1 for $2. When it was at $2 or $1.98 and 21, it's a lot more difficult to acquire XRP. At 52 cents, it's not as difficult. That's just the truth. Joshy Sauce, welcome in. Yes, XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibite OG, and we'll get into XLM and DGB in this update as well. But yeah, that was I used to love doing the intro like that. It's just nobody could find, well, it's not like everybody can find the channel now anyhow, but it was harder for people to promote my channel. Nick Morales, good evening. I'm glad to see you in here. Mara Louise Willamese, welcome in as always. Love that name so much. Moza here, good evening, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for 6 months with the XRP Predictor. I greatly appreciate that. Simon, welcome in, and thanks for continuing in Tom's Army in 3 months now with the XRP Meteor. 3 months plus. So awesome to see some of you sticking with Tom's Army. Sean Crothers, welcome in, my main man from Maine. Hopefully everything's going well for you. We would be at $20 if the SEC didn't slow things down. Well, I don't know about $20. I mean, you never know with the way the crypto market's moving. But I tend to think that if the SEC wasn't involved, we'd be around all-time highs. We could even be making that push towards the $5 to $10 mark. But we'll never know. We'll never know exactly what. It's just speculation right now. But we're looking for that resolution. And once we get a bona fide resolution, things are going to change. And they're going to change rather quickly. Like I say, by virtue or by payment, and I only say that because Ripple has the money to pay a massive settlement and be basically unfazed. So we just have to continue to watch for the resolution. We have to continue to be patient within the price action. We really do, because there's a couple things that can happen. 100,000 XRP and holding 3 years. Got nice 3 years, and that's after, since it's 3 years. I mean, you could have done this after the dump in 21, so you very well might have bought it after we had the breakdown, and now you've been acquiring for 3 years. That's not a bad spot to be in. I don't know what your average is, but you've obviously got a plan, and we're nowhere near where we're going to be going. That's the stressful part, honestly. The stressful part is, I mean, I don't want to be like stressed as in, oh my God, the world's falling. But the stressful part is me, for somebody who's doing analysis every single day on XRP, the amount of people that were so into it when XRP was at $1.30 and $1.50, and so willing to spend their last dollar on XRP, and now they don't even want to watch it. They don't even want to see it. They don't even want to understand what's going on in this current structure. They couldn't care less. It's kind of disheartening in a way, knowing that so many people that were so interested have just given up. Have just given up. But eventually, one way or the other, we're going to find our destiny here. And right now, we are maintaining that 51.8 cent threshold. And I think that, Tom, I must know what's that sound when you hit the screen and how to, what sound when I hit the screen? I don't know what you mean. You mean the, me tapping on my screen? That, I don't know how you can get, that might just be me being annoying for everybody because I have to hit the screen. But if that's what you're talking about, I don't know. Didn't know as much about crypto then as I do now. I had known more about it, I would have taken profit at $1.80 and bought back in. Once I got in deep, I didn't want to sell scared. No, I understand that. But at least it sounds like you've been buying, hopefully on the way down here. But that's what I mean. Like, there was a lot of people in that time period at $1.80. I sold out at $1.66. After, I had a 47-cent average. I sold out at $1.66. After it at $1.98. Came down to like $1.18. And when we came back up, it got rejected so hard around the $1.74 level. I was like, what the hell? And it ended up being that it was creating that right arm on the head and shoulders pattern. And I ended up getting out at $1.66 on the way down. Never looked back and bought back in at 34 cents. I did have a swing trade from 28 to 44, I believe it was, and then I rebought back in at 34 and just kept piling up after. To the point now that I'm over 22,000 tokens. Tanya, welcome in, love, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. We'll get into a little bit of HBAR here tonight as well for you, love. I missed the 2-year member. I'll get to that in just a second once I see the comments again. Dirty Dozen says, in it to win it since 2020. Excellent. John London, welcome in, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. Who will be the first person to let me see that emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens this month? I can't wait to see a new person in Tom's Army. I feel like it's been forever since I've seen that emoji badge. But I firmly do believe that we're going into a time right now. It's going to be a very transformative, I can't even say the word right now. It's going to be a very big change of guard, let's just say. You go through opportunities and cycles when you're trading the markets where you have opportunity. The opportunity is calling. Even if XRP were to break down and it consolidates down back to the 38-cent mark, which could be seen if this didn't pan out, you could see us retesting this 80-month consolidation on the uptrend, now 81 months. And it's up at 39 or down at 39.6 cents. You could certainly see that scenario as this is the all-time pattern. And we've talked about how it's possible that we had a big cup already form, and this is just a handle through the back part of this that goes several years. That is one of the speculations here. Mo, I'm pretty sure I said hi to you, Mo, but it's awesome to see you in here, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XP Predictor. It means a lot to me, my friend. So when we look at XRP in those regards, you've got XRP. The cup and handle is the main target here. The cup and handle, as long as it holds that handle, we're looking very bullish. It's just, at any moment, if it gives this away and we get back tested and rejected, which we haven't yet, and we very well look like we're back testing to see if we're holding it right now. But it's not exactly the candle I was hoping for today. But it's crazy, but this is not a gravestone doji. This is almost setting up more like a dragonfly, disguising a bearish candle. But if it does get a nice boost to start the next daily, it could be a differential. In the 4-hour time frame, we came all the way down to 51.65. And now in current times, we're back up to that 52.14. That is very interesting because the 4-hourly could reverse this right as we go into the daily close. And the next 4-hourly would be engulfing maybe. Well, maybe not engulfing, but it all depends. We very well could find ourselves have a nice, even, smoothed out candle here, if not better. I wouldn't be surprised if this wants to put in like a long leg doji. If for some reason XRP rallies up to like 53.13 real quick, just to rile up the audience. And then we'll see where it goes from there after the daily close, because then that would signify a possible reversal. Right now, it's still showing that there's more topside pressure. That pull down to 516 and right back up. If this continues a little momentum, it could show a sign of strength. But it could also show a very sign of weakness. If it would have held below 518, that would have been a first sign of a very, very detrimental move that could be coming. I choose to look at this from the positive until that cup and handle breaks. Every single day I've been buying into the XRP Bitcoin pairing without remorse. And it's just about $5,300 I've put into the XRP Bitcoin pairing. That is not a joke, and it's to advance my position in XRP. Right now I hold an additional over 10,000 XRP now. And now I have over 22,000 XRP, and I can sell it back out through the XRP Bitcoin pairing if the ratio gets back in my favor. That's absolutely a possibility, but you have to buy it through Bitcoin and then buy the XRP Bitcoin pairing to be able to play it both ways. Yeah, I do it through MEXC. That's in the video description below and our pinned comments. If you want to look there, it's also got XRP Healthcare. There's PIKAMOON on that platform. For some, we've been watching, but I've told everybody it's got to come down to the multiple zeros and a 6 before I even take shape again. So we'll look at that. Yeah, we'll look at transformational. Yes, it's a transformational moment. Thank you very much, whoever said that. I don't know why I couldn't get it out, but it is absolutely a transformational moment here in crypto. And I was telling everybody I could not wait for this opportunity in 21 after I sold. And I said we'd have to wait several years. And now we've got over a year where there's been opportunity. Over a year. And it makes me feel so good to know that not just myself, but many others are trying to take advantage of this time in history. Because we're going to look back at this as one of the most historical moments ever with the XRP price, to where you were able, over a long sustained period of time, even in, tough financial environment, where we have sustainability to buy at a set price. When you talk about the accumulation phase, You're looking to be able to buy for months on end if you're in the right phase, to where you can drop thousands of dollars if you want over time, and the price varies very little over time, to where your average continues to move with the flow with every purchase. That's what you're looking for. Right now, Bitcoin, as we said yesterday, needed the volatility because we have to make sure we can hold 70,536. And until it proves that we're holding this area, and this could be a little bit of a back test here, we don't know. But until it holds that area, this could be, you know, under the road here if 70,536 gets rejected, because then you have to back test a little farther. First big area would be that 2-hour time frame. But if it rotated out of here, that's not what you want. To confirm a push up to 77,900 and some change off of the breakout of this pennant flag, you can even see it in the 2-hourly, but let me pull it back to the 4-hourly, it's easier. And this inverse head and shoulders, at some point we have to hold that 70,536 to confirm the signal up to 77,965. I don't make up the rules. I just diagnose the pattern so that I can see exactly where things are going. Now, if it breaks down, it's another story. But this is in the scenario we break up, and it's showing us every reason why this inverse right arm should pull up and possibly bring us into discovery again. If that happens, 77,965 might not be enough. You might be talking 88K at the top of this rising channel that we broke out of and resustained, or it could even go up even higher, but we're so far out from that perspective, we can't even go there yet. If you are watching, please make sure to hit that like button, as we have 81 people watching, but only half have hit that like button. I promise you, the more of you that hit that like button, my content will pop up through the recommendations, and then I'll be able to, you know, push through the algorithm on YouTube, and it'll be a spectacular thing. And then everybody else who maybe doesn't know about the station, who sees it, they're like, hey, this guy's got 21,600 subscribers. He's got to be doing something right. You know, so, but that's the way I look at it. The power of positivity. If you're new here, we're positivity over negativity. We don't like to hurt people in the comments. We like to help. And we have no reason to play the victim. We play the winner around here. And by playing the winner, that means we have to have all the information from a news and charting perspective to make an educated and informed decision. We don't do anything by chance around here. We do everything not by luck either. We do it by understanding on the charts. Alex, welcome in. Yes, Mike, silver is holding up rather well. I did make a couple purchases, as some of you know. Yesterday I told everybody I put $1,080 into Barrick Gold. It was at $16.43 after about a 9.7% drop in a 48-hour period. 5.6% yesterday it dropped, and today I was up just over 4.8% from the purchase yesterday, so that was pretty nice. And I also reinvested in First Majestic at $6.79, so it's within the margin of error right now. But it had a nice pullback. It was up over $8 and some odd cents when I sold it, and I told everybody I'd be buying back when it was the appropriate time. That little reshuffle we got in silver yesterday really made my time worth it, and I put $1,100 into the First Majestic as well. So I've got a lot of money in the commodities, as most of you know. B2 Gold, I've got 7,200 and some change put into it at $2.53 on this time around. So I think everybody who's paying attention to the commodity sector, we got a dividend payment coming up on B2 Gold. It's been confirmed at 0.4, which is 4 cents per share, basically. Or, well, you'll see how it plays out, but it's basically 4% is what you're going to get on what you hold, if you want to put it in layman's terms. So it'll be about 4%, and it's going to be a rather hefty payment this time. So I look forward to that. And dividend is on June 8th, I believe, but you don't get paid until June, let's see, or June 11th. Dividends on June 24th, and it's 0.04 is the amount, which is a spectacular dividend. And B2 Gold, an engulfing candle here in the 4-hourly to end the day. I mean, there's just so much optimism to be had here, but it's going to take patience, just like with everything else. But it's everything I'm building here, I'm trying to be very transparent. So yeah, remember in 21 it didn't sound like I had a lot to move around. In 24 it's a whole different ball game. There's a lot of different layers at play right now, and it's going to take patience. The bottom line is it's going to take patience. Nothing was ever built overnight, especially when you're in a bear to bull cycle. XRP, make no mistake about it, is very much in the bear cycle still. We have not even come close to flipping bullish. You have to break this cup and handle bullish to even start thinking about it. As I've tried to explain over and over and over, it's not about the end result. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey along the way. It really, really is. It's not about if we get to the end game. Like look in 21, when everybody was watching me, I had $3,500 to trade with. In 24, it's not the same ball game anymore. And that was my crypto funds. Now I've evolved into what? Over $10,000 in commodities, which it's up over what, 13 to 1,500, but still a lot of my own money in there on those investments. I've shuffled over 3,000 in value right now into XRP Healthcare, where it's currently sitting right now, which we'll get into that. We've shuffled over $5,000 into the XRP Bitcoin pairing on top of the over $5,000 we already own in XRP at the current price. You know, there's a lot of moving parts here. We have AMP, we have XDC, but there's a lot of moving parts that we're not able to be like this back in 21. By good trading, by buying in at the right times, by shuffling out, by understanding the cycles of the market, we're able to capitalize. What worked in 21 doesn't work in 24. What works in 24 isn't going to work in 26 or 25. Everything changes for a reason. But we just had the European Central Bank put into effect their first rate cut. It just happened, I believe it was yesterday, they announced it. They said they're going to do at least 3 rate cuts in 2025 or 2024. If you don't think that the USA is going to follow suit, you're not paying attention. Which means that commodities, gold, silver, precious metals, oil is all going to go fucking nuts. It's going to. There's the reason why gold is over 2,300 and silver's over 31 bucks an ounce. I remember not too long ago in the distant past when I was begging everybody to buy gold when it was just about 1,600, when it had the massive retracement, and silver was down around 17 bucks. I even did the silver stacking series when gold and silver started to retrace a lot, just because I was trying to get everybody to understand, like, you've got currency, which is the US dollar. It's shit. The currency is shit. The US dollar is going to get tapped here. But when you buy into precious metals, that's real money. Cryptocurrency, as I've said, is money as well. And the reason I'll say that is because I can take my cryptocurrency. Yes, there's a lot more risk to be had, but I can take my crypto in the USA and I can go to Venezuela and cash out my crypto for that native token, or that native currency, I should say. So there's a lot more that meets the eye with cryptocurrency. I can't just take my cash from the USA and send it from my bank account and send it overseas and look to take it out in the US dollar. It's not going to work. But if I take that same value in US dollars, sell it out into, let's just say I'm in Canada and sell it out into the CAD, it works. Or if I'm in Europe, sell it in the euro, it works. It works. Or into the, or what is it? The pound or the quid. I think I'm saying that right. The quid? I don't know. I'm so stupid sometimes when it comes to that side of the world. But there's ways to turn your currency into money, but there's only a different kind of ways you can do it transparently across borders. So I think if we all get on the same page and we understand some of this stuff, I think it's actually a remarkable thing that we're able to understand here. The fact that 80 people have somehow found their way in here, it makes me very happy. It makes me very happy. XLM right now is down 1.63%. It continues to ride this downtrending support. We are trying to validate a breakout here, which could bring us up pretty close to that 13-cent mark. It really could. Spitfire Tom, glad your boy is doing it. Yes, he's doing very, 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 very well. Very well. MC Prosperity, welcome in and thank you for continuing to tune in. I appreciate you, my friend, as always. XLM, just like XRP, had a little bit of a pull down here. And it was down to the 10.46 mark. It's really got to pull up a little bit here. Sean Carlos, a lot of people selling their silver collection on Facebook Marketplace now that the price is over 30 around. It might be a time to continue to accumulate privately without all those fees. It might be. That's not a bad idea. You just got to be careful on the marketplace that you're not getting bamboozled. But I know you understand a lot about metals, so you know what you're looking for, Sean. But it's just a cautious, just be cautious if you're trading like that without being through a dealer. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people are starting to sell out. There is no doubt about that. And it's been one of the most silent rallies I've ever seen in commodities. I've been watching commodities for over a decade very closely. And normally there's a lot more buzz when things are moving. The precious metal sector, you'd think with gold being over 2,300 and silver being over 31 that everybody would be shouting it from the rooftops. You don't hear a pip out. You don't hear anything out of it. You basically could hear a pin drop when it comes to precious metals. XDC right now is down 1.3% to 3.76 cents. As I told everybody yesterday, the first target was hit, and you have to make an educated and informed decision at 3.81 cents what you want to do. I can't tell you what to do, as you wrote it up from the 348 roughly to the 38, and that was for anybody who wanted to ride it. There was about, let's see how much it was. We'll go from here. It's about 10% was the first move. So you can make a decision on what you want to do, but I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a financial advisor. I just show you what I'm doing on a daily basis. It looks like a massive W could very well be forming here. And if it is, we've got much higher ambitions where I circled. We need to get on top of 381 though. That's a major pivot point. And then in time, I suspect we should work up to that 4.7 mark over the next few months. August, the end of August is only a couple months away now. I know it's crazy. I basically missed a whole month of May, I feel like, in my head, because my son was hospitalized 2 separate times. The first time, very bad experience. Second time, we got a great resolution, and we're so proud of ourselves for actually taking the leap and driving all the way out to Grand Rapids to go to the Children's Hospital, the Corwell Children's Hospital out there. It's been life-changing. So I basically missed the whole month of May. I'm not even sure what the hell is going on. I mean, I am, but I can't believe it's June. Like my head just, I was doing things, but I just don't remember. So yeah, that's XDC in a very big descending consolidation in the descending triangle. At the end of these are bullish bullish reversals. It has to play out true. Has to play out true. And then we have a nice move up eventually to 8.7 cents if it can play out. HBAR, Tanya, I know you're still here, down 2.41% to 10.19 cents. There's still optimism here. It's just, as we've always said, when you come up high like this, and it did us a little bit of an injustice when we had that news with BlackRock, because now it put in what could be perceived as a bear flag, and it might even have to come down farther. But right now, if this uptrending support and this little consolidation were to hold, if we look at it in the 4 hourly, this is our structure right now. If it holds this structure and breaks to the top, you could be looking at a nice move. Even if you go from support to resistance at 11.5, if you buy structures, you buy support, sell resistance, so 9.85 cents is where you're looking on a hold. If it breaks down here, the first target's going to be around that 8 cent mark. So that's about a 15% drop, 15 to 20%. And it could either go, it could really go either way here. But it's nice to have the short-term consolidation figured out, and that's why I keep choosing to show it in this perspective, because sure, you could look at the bigger patterns, but it's really going to get you caught up here, because we did have a breakout of a very short-term consolidation that looked like a bear flag, but it ended up breaking out in a bull flag, or breaking out bullishly, and now it looks like, even though we've had a massive consolidation with HBAR, just watch it in this perspective. Boom, up to the V-shaped recovery. This very well could be a sneaky inverse head that just had an overzealous rally, and it's going to confuse the masses, and then it could break out eventually. You just need this to break out of this structure. If not, it'll have to contest with one of those two areas. So just be aware. DGB's at 1.15 cents. And after this, if you stick around, and I know most people leave when I'm not talking about XRP, but we're going to go over some reading as well. And then towards the end, we'll get into the XRP Bitcoin pairing. Turbo happened in May. Yes, Turbo did it. I guess it did, because I missed most of that, the entire rally. I know we talked about it a lot before the rally, but I was completely kind of out of it. With DGB, same typical kind of consolidation we're seeing with many of them. It's this descending structure. If we could get over the top here, DGB would have a nice rally, but it's got to get over that 122 level. It's got to get over the 122 level, or the 123 level, and then we'll see what happens. But as of right now, stuck within what could be a right shoulder. If it were to break down, it would be a little bit pretty bearish, but it's still on this cup and handle, so it's still working on a much bigger pattern here. So we'll see how it breaks up or down, but that's just something that we'll have to continue watching. I love DGB. I think it's a very big, it's going to be a player in the future. It's just, when does the future come? Nobody knows. Nobody knows, but what we do know is when the accumulation time is here, and right now is that time. I just find it so remarkable how many people, like, this is what we want. We want. So I'm going to go through 2 bits of reading here. First, XRP upholds 52-cent price level as whales shift 218 million coins. What's next? So against the backdrop of XRP's maintained position above the 52-cent price level, whale activity has once again spiked, notably piquing substantial investor attention. Slightly above 218 million coins have been shuffled in the past 24 hours per on-chain data surfacing across the market. The data reveals a pattern of whales engaging in buy and dump transactions, sparking speculations about the potential for XRP to surge ahead. Here's a detailed report on this development. So 193 million coins shuffled. This was a whale alert. According to data presented by on-chain transaction tracker Whale Alert, whales collectively moved a staggering 218.06 million coins in the past 24 hours. 2 whales were recorded to have bagged 50.25 million XRP from Binance collectively, while the others offloaded significant amounts of the same to different sexes. Notably, 167.81 million XRP was offloaded to exchanges Bitstamp, Bitso, and Coinbase per the data. The dumps have further undermined the accumulation recorded over the past day. Meanwhile, it's also worth mentioning that the XRP whales that accumulated tokens from Binance have been previously reported to be making similar accumulations, underscoring increased confidence in the asset's potential to pump ahead. In the interim, XRP appears to have taken the heat off supply pressure in the market. Also, the substantial surge in whale activity follows on XRP ETF buzz and the broader industry, adding to speculations. As of writing, the XRP token noted a 0.14% fall after a dominant trading session in the green territory. I don't know why this guy's beeping at them. It was a red light and he wants them to turn. I certainly wouldn't have. There's a lot of cops that hide out right there. Territory in the past 24 hours. The token currently rests at 52.42 cents, with its 24-hour bottoms and tops being 52.4 and 53 cents respectively. CoinGlass data shows a consistent and gradual increase in XRP's futures open interest in recent days, resting at 666.79 million. However, the derivatives volume plunged 19.76% to 657.42 million. This has in turn birthed mixed sentiments over XRP's future potential across the broader crypto market. Additionally, the RSI weighed in on the speculations, signaling that the asset is neither overbought nor oversold. However, the Ripple Labs-backed cryptocurrency continues to make waves in the markets. And we heard about a new partnership yesterday that's going to help push the cross-border payments as well. And then just a little bit more to understand, the XRP price continues trading above the 720-day support. Will volatility ever return? So the XRP price has increased alongside an ascending support trend line for 720 days. Volatility has approached its lowest ever levels, similar to an 805-day period in 2018 to 2020. And now, what are the key levels that XRP price needs to break in order for volatility to return? The XRP price has declined since its 94-cent high in July of 2023. It is one of the few cryptocurrencies whose 2024 high was lower than that of 2023. This is in the continuation of a pattern of weakness since XRP's all-time high was reached in 2018 and the price created a lower high in 2021. XRP is approaching the end of a long-term pattern existing since that of 2021 high. This leads to the question, will the XRP price break out or down from this pattern? So XRP trades without volatility. The weekly time frame chart shows the XRP price has traded above an ascending support trend line since July of 2022. The trend line has been validated numerous times. In April 2024, the price of XRP seemingly broke down below it, however. It created a long lower wick, green icon, and reclaimed the trend line the same week. It has increased at the same rate at the trend line since. devoid of any notable volatility. And this is what they're pointing at. And we can see this pattern very much so formed here. The fact that the price is traded without volatility is also supported by the narrowing Bollinger Bands indicator. The indicator is anybody who's watching right now, does this, like, are you paying attention to this kind of information and seeing the long sustainable consolidation? I mean, it's so long. It's been such a never ending, it feels like, accumulation phase. But everything breaks at some point. At some point, the end's going to meet its end. You know, we're going to meet our end game. We're going to meet the end game. And there's a lot that's being missed around here. The indicator creates an upper and lower limit based on the current price volatility. XRP is trading near the lower portion of the band. The lack of volatility is also visible by the historical volatility indicator. Currently at 40, the indicator has consistently fallen since the start of 2022. The only other time when XRP had such a low volatility was an 805-day period between September 2018 and November 2020. However, besides the lack of volatility, there are no other similarities between these two movements. In 2018 to 2020, the XRP price had been trading downward inside a descending parallel channel, as opposed to increasing alongside an ascending support trend line, as it's currently doing. So what to make of XRP's future movement? A more extensive look at the weekly chart shows the price also trades inside the 52-cent horizontal support area, which coincides with the ascending support trend line. Additionally, it shows a descending resistance trend line existing since April 2021 high. Together, they create a symmetrical triangle. The resistance support trend lines converge in September, so a decisive movement is likely by then. However, the weekly RSI, Relative Strength Index, and MACD, which is the moving average convergence divergence, do not point to a clear direction. The MACD is below 0 and the RSI is below 50. While both are mired in long-term downward trends, they have also begun short-term upward trends. When combined with the fact that the symmetrical triangle is a neutral pattern, the readings make both a breakout and a breakdown equally possible. So the future XRP trend remains unclear. The fact that the XRP price is traded without volatility for such a long period of time suggests a significant movement is likely. The fact that the existing long-term pattern will end in September supports this. However, neither the XRP price action nor indicator readings particularly lean in one or the other direction, since there is a confluence of support levels, but the same is not true for resistance. Upside volatility is slightly more likely. A breakout above the descending resistance trend line will likely lead to an upward movement, while a breakdown below the 52-cent horizontal support and the ascending support trend line can lead to lower prices. So I really wanted to read through that. I know it's long reading, but for the ones who are continuing to pay attention here, and I don't mean just by watching me, I mean paying attention in the sphere. Like, yeah, if you're watching me, you're paying attention to my content. But even if someone's not watching my content, if they're paying attention to what's going on with the micro movements for the short term, from a micro perspective, that are going to lead to the macro move coming up maybe as early as by end of the year. And in the regards that I'm looking at, I'm not looking at the 20% move. I'm talking about a historical move that's going to end up happening at some point. And it's more likely that it'll happen, a gigantic move sometime in 25. But that doesn't mean you can't lead into a big move. It doesn't mean you can't build into a big move. Every big move was put together by a very long bout of consolidation, or a very big time where the ones who could see what was transpiring before it was mainstream. So you want to be buying before the mainstream picks up. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. You want to be picking up before the mainstream becomes just glued to it. You want to be buying before everybody's telling you how perfect it is. Before everybody's telling you how perfect it is. You want to be buying when everybody's telling you why it shouldn't be. But you only do that because you have the understanding of what's going on behind the scenes, what Ripple is actually doing, what the viability of XRP is, even as a gas token. The fact that Ripple is going to be putting its stablecoin in, and Ripple president Monica Long said that it's going to be by the end of the year. That's going to bring a hell of a lot of liquidity to the XRP ledger. So that's a lot of extra liquidity and a lot of extra cash that can be flowing into the ledger. I don't take that lightly. I take that very seriously. with the resolution of the Ripple versus SEC case lingering, you know, at some point it's not going to be so viable for these prices. At some point it's just not going to be as viable. And for all the arguments I've heard about, oh, well, Ripple holds so many tokens, it's less productive for them to have to sell twice as many tokens if the price is continuing to go down. It's much more viable if the price is at $2 or $3 when they don't have to sell as many tokens and they can continue to fund the program. You don't want to have to continuously sell out millions and millions of tokens just to have any value for your operations. So just look at them as from an investor standpoint. As long as they hold some tokens, they're going to want the most appreciation for their tokens. XRP Bitcoin pairing is down 0.27% to 737 sat level. Very excited to buy more today. I never know the time I'm going to do it, but I buy it at least once a day. Last purchase I made was at the 736 sat level. I think 2 days in a row. I got one at 739 yesterday, or 2 days ago. Yesterday I got it at 736. So I'm continuing to buy it. And we've said this is going to be a long, sustainable accumulation. So there is time. So if it breaks down here, it should come down to the sat level of 711. And we're starting to move into those areas now of oversold in the smaller time frames. 4 hourly, 3 hourly pushed back into oversold. 2 hourly is working its way back up. But what we're trying to do is catch up to the weekly. As we know, the weekly is massively oversold. And eventually this is going to reverse. And when it does, it's going to start to close the gap between XRP's ratio to Bitcoin. It doesn't mean that it's going to catch up, like XRP is going to get to $10 or anything like that. It just means the gap is going to close a little bit with the XRP Bitcoin ratio. And right now, if it does pull up from here, you could see a W start to form here very quickly. So we'll keep watching this and monitoring it, but I believe there's a substantial opportunity out in front of us right here that I don't really see anybody talk about the XRP Bitcoin pairing, to be honest. Much love to Jules for sharing you with us. Yes, indeed. What time do you want to do that? Okay. You got it set up? Okay. Sounds good. So, about 7 o'clock, guys, I'm going to leave because we're going to feed our son. He's waking up from a nap and we got to do a feeding. So if you do appreciate my work, please make sure to hit that like button. Consider joining Tom's Army and sending one YouTube super chat per month, as it would really help fund the program. And if you do appreciate the work, make sure to hit that subscribe button. As you can see, it's a very tricky time in cryptocurrency right now. It's a very, very tricky time to try to even have a viable viewing audience, or an expanding, not viable because we have a viable audience, but I'm saying as far as the expandable audience, expanding the audience, it's very difficult to reach new members right now. It's very difficult to reach a new audience. So I really need your help to hit that share button so that you can share my content on social media to get the word out there. Remember, if you're looking to trade XRP or your favorite crypto, video description below and or pinned comments is BITUNIX, USA and worldwide. Trade XRP, no VPN. If you're looking to trade the XRP Bitcoin pairing, I know some of you have talked about PIKAMOON, but if you're looking at that route, there's MEXC in the video description below and or pinned comments, and that's more worldwide. It's going to be very difficult to use in the USA unless you already have an account. So just consider some of those tips. And if you are watching XRP, you know, for today, the foreseeable future, or just trying to get a grasp on what's coming, with this pull down here that we had to 51.6 cents roughly, if XRP at any point breaks below that 51.1 cents, it's very, very bearish. That's a very bearish sign. And you could have a head and shoulders that does pull down and invalidates this inverse head and shoulder structure. If this breaks down on the cup and handle, which we definitely don't want to happen, that's at the 51.8 cent mark. You don't want that to happen though. You do not want to break down at 51.8 cents. You want to hold that, and you want this cup and handle to play out bullishly. So with that being said, everybody, I think I'm going to call it a live. It's been a beautiful 45 minutes. We'll try to do better tomorrow, and we'll try to attract more of an audience. So thank you, everybody. Have a blessed evening, and I can't wait.